This is Majin, and welcome to my top 10 comics for the year 2013. Now, my one disclaimer is this. There are some books that I feel that should belong in the top 10, like, for an example, a Hawkeye or Lock and Key, but because I'm so far behind, I just couldn't put those things in there because, I don't even know what's going on right now currently. Anyways, let's get on with the top 10. Number 10 is Aquaman. Now, I'm sure you're going, Majinoni, why are you including Aquaman? You hate DC, and it's Aquaman. It's a fish. Well, it's really simple. Jeff Johns really did a fantastic job at making Aquaman relevant again. Aquaman was a character that was basically a joke. They treated it like a joke at the beginning of the relaunch of the New 52, and for the most part, it's been a solid read. I thought it's been entertaining. The art's been fantastic. And it's going to be a shame when Johns leaves because I don't know how well the storytelling is going to be going into 2014. But at least 2013 Aquaman, for the most part, has kept me entertained. Number 9, and this is a surprise, Superior Foes of Spider-Man. Superior Foes of Spider-Man does not sell at all, which is a shame because this is an underappreciated comic book. What they've done is taken a group of misfit supervillains who Spider-Man beats on repeatedly, and they're this misfitted band of characters that are trying to work together. They know that they're not good, but they're doing the best they can, and it's often to our advantage because it's hilarious at times. It's very, very well written, and I thought it was definitely a surprise hit. Now, I really do wish that more people would read it. This way the comic could extend longer, but I think with a title like this is one of those things that maybe it should end, like before the joke gets old type thing. But regardless, I highly recommend everybody out there, if you have not picked up Superior Foes yet, when the trade comes out, buy it. Okay, number 8 is Robert Kirkman's Invincible. Now, to me, Invincible is what a superhero title should be. You have your hero, he's learning how to use his powers, and he's incredibly powerful, and people get killed along the way. And what really appeals to me about Invincible is it's telling a story over time. And one could argue that, yes, the same thing is happening with the Fantastic Four, Avengers, Batman, people like that. But the thing is, every time those titles start to get interesting, creative people change, and they tend to do resets. Invincible's not like that. It's basically, like, this is the life of these characters. There's no resetting, so to speak, and it's, I think, a more closer portrayal to what really would happen if there weren't superheroes. People would get killed, and it would get pretty darn violent. I mean, imagine Superman being as strong as he is, but yet nobody ever dies. No, that's not true. Nobody can hold back punches like that. People would die. Now, number 7 is Earth 2. Now, Earth 2 really caught me by surprise, and I'm actually still surprised that I'm still enjoying this. Now, Robinson, he took a very interesting approach to these classic JSA characters. He took a huge gamble at the beginning, killed off all the key characters, started fresh, and slowly started to build this world. And, going this far into the series, it's really paid off. And I wish more writers would take chances like some of the things he's done in this book. The art's been consistently good, the writing has been consistently good, and it's a real shame that Robinson's going to be, had left this title, because to me, I thought he was the heart and soul of this book. So let's see if this book is going to be as good as it has been in 2014. Number 6, this was a surprise for me, and that's All New X-Men. Now, I was all ready to hate on this book like everybody else, but Bendis actually crafted a really unique tale. Now, I think closer to the end of the year, I think he started going a little loopy a little bit because, that final story arc with the future coming in, the Battle of the Atom, that was horrible. I mean, there's nothing that could be said to redeem that series. And, I might even question, why are these heroes still here? But that being said, the the writing has been, for the most part, spot on. The art has been a little bit inconsistent, and I think that's really going to make this book suffer, and that's why it's not listed up higher. But as a whole, though, I think that his take on these characters and putting them out of play, out of time, out of place, it's been actually really entertaining as a whole. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what is in store for us in 2014. Personally, though, I do hope that this title will eventually come to an end, because these characters can't stay here forever. Number 5 is Batman. Now, Scott Snyder has done a fantastic job. You know, everything going from The Court of Owls to Death of a Family, all of that, stellar work. I mean, if you really think about what Snyder did, was he reinvented the Joker, and he made the Joker even more evil than one could ever imagine. And all he did was just remove his skin, from his face. And that alone just changed the tone of everything. Now, I'm not a big fan of the 0 year, and that's, for me, what's actually hurt this book the most. And otherwise, it would be actually listed a lot higher. I don't really believe we even need to go into a 0 year. I mean, you ended on such a high note. To me, this kind of made me think that he was afraid as to where he's going to go next, so he retreated to the past. At least that's my impression. And I was really looking forward to seeing what was to come. What other new re-envision of these characters that was going to occur. But regardless, Batman is still a solid title. The art and the writing is still, I think, one of the best that DC is putting out on the market. Number 4 is another Image title, and that's The Walking Dead. Now, I realize I don't talk about The Walking Dead at all, anywhere, and that's because I buy the trades. I remember a while back I heard a rumor or a story that says you just don't spoil Walking Dead. Well, once I heard that, I just don't talk about it, because I do not want to ruin this story for anybody. Also, because I started reading The Walking Dead late, I started to read the trades, and for the most part I've just kept with the trades, except for an occasional issue every now and then. And The Walking Dead has just been a phenomenal read, and it is I think one of the most entertaining books out on the market. And it's something that I always look forward to every single time I get it. A lot of times I'll get a bunch of trades, and sometimes they'll sit for a few weeks, maybe a month, before I actually read it. But The Walking Dead, I usually read within a week. It's just always solid entertainment. Number 3, Uncanny Avengers. Now, Remender has done a fantastic job with this team. Granted, I guess you can say this is one of those situations where how can you lose? You're taking popular X-Men characters and popular Avenger characters, and you're putting them on the same team. And for the most part, you're right. You really can't. But what Remender has really done with this is he's taken a slice of his X-Force book with the Wolverine and the Death of Apocalypse storyline, and then he's crafted something new and special. And I really like the dynamics between the mutants and the humans on the team, and how they're trying to work together, but things just don't work. And they are up against such an incredible enemy that it's been such a joy to read. And I think if you look at overall, Remender, he's not giving us that short gratification that a lot of titles normally give us. Everything that he's giving us is built for the long term. And that's one thing I do like. It shows to me that as a writer, what he's doing is he's really basically has a start, middle, end, and he's slowly working towards that, instead of doing a 4-issue story arc just so this way the trade can be put out on time. Overall, I think Uncanny Avengers is one of the most strongest Avenger titles. It may not be the most user-friendly in terms of, like your coworker who wants to read an Avenger book because they saw the movie, but for a die-hard comic reader, this is outstanding. Number 2, Superior Spider-Man. Slott, it just blows my mind every single time I read this. I yell at the comic book. I want to rage. And every single time he puts me through these emotions, I love every minute of it. I love seeing Spider-Man being so evil, and because it just makes me appreciate Peter Parker more. It makes me want Peter to come back and just destroy Spider. And I've never ever wanted, to see this kind of destruction against a supervillain before, ever. And like, to me, I guess you could say that I should be expecting the unexpected, but Slott always manages to do something that makes me go, wow, I was waiting for that to happen. I am so glad it happened. I never thought he would do it, but I'm so glad he did it. And this is one of the first books that I read, for sure, every time it comes out. And I just wish that more people who were against the Spider swap who left would come back, because this is great. The Goblin War is setting up to be something amazing, and something horrible is going to happen that's probably going to make a whole bunch more people rage. So this is definitely going to be a roller coaster ride. Number 1. I thought I would never say this for any title. I mean, not any title, but for this title. Thor God of Thunder. Jason Aaron has done a fantastic job. Thor has been going through many bad issues, bad years. People don't quite know what to do with Thor, and sometimes I think it loses its path. But Aaron has taken Thor and just made him the Thunder God. When I'm reading this title, I feel that he is super powerful, that he deserves the mantle of God of Thunder. And that first story arc with the God Bomb story, and then how all the gods were getting killed, it was just amazing. The art was amazing, the storytelling was fantastic. Usually when you have in a sense, like a time travel story where you have characters from different times and places, that's where things tend to fall apart. But when you had young Thor, modern Thor, and future Thor together, it was just like amazing. The way they worked together, the way they talked, interacted, it was just a great read. I'm so looking forward to seeing what's to come. And Thor, like, the art has just been so stellar that it's like I would just love to have those covers as posters. I would love to have original artwork if I could only afford it. And this is one of those titles that I don't know why people aren't buying, because it's so good. It deserves a lot higher readership than it's getting, and it's a shame. I don't know what it is that's turning people off. Is it the unique art style, or is it the fact that Thor's not beating up on the Wrecking Crew? I don't know, but this is the path that Thor needs to be on to be a true title. And you can tell that what Aaron is doing with Thor is kind of carrying over to the other titles. Because if you look in the Avengers, Thor is really acting godlike, and he is kicking ass, and he's not even taking names, because he's just too busy kicking ass. And that's, to me, what Thor should be like. And it's something that has been sorely missing with this character for years. But anyways, this is my top 10. I would like to hear what you guys have for your top 10, so leave those in the comments below. And I'll also be doing a top list for manga, so watch for that. And if you have any comments or questions, also put those below. Facebook link, Crunchyroll anime reviews link on the side there. Those are free reviews on Crunchyroll, and I'll have more reviews and stuff later. So until next time.